Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the WolfPack Gaming Podcast. Super excited to be here tonight and share some information with all of you that are going to be watching on a video on demand and who are watching live. I got two special guests with me, which I'm really excited to have on the show today. Web Dave, I was a panel member with you on Breakfast with Boom a couple of months back, brother, but then I had to kind of take a hiatus because the work schedule got a little crazy there. And of course, Kay Asante, who it was my very first guest on the WolfPack Gaming podcast. So, Kay, how you doing tonight? Web Dave, how you guys doing?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful, man. It's been a while. I hope y'all are doing well as well, and I'm looking forward to talking about this cool piece of tech. You said tech. I'm like, what? Where?
Yeah,
let's go.
Absolutely. How about you, Web Dave? How you doing? How was your day today?
I'm doing good, man. Doing really good. Like I'm actually on vacation this week because getting ready for Halloween is a big deal around here, so it takes me a little bit to get all the stuff set up. But yeah, I'm ready for talking about this. This is good.
Speaking
And
of Halloween, should we have been here in costume?
Maybe. I mean,
I'm always scary. I don't know.
I got the Mass Effect mask helmet over there. If you want me to wear it.
I got a drawer here full of like stuff. So maybe I'll pull out like an old underwear or something, put it on my head.
I could be like,
I could be like I'll be an ass.
John, a ball gag doesn't count as a mask. Just saying.
Oh wow. Okay, it's gonna be one of those shows.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So yeah, guys, we're gonna be reviewing the Logitech G-Cloud. Came out last week. I was able to get my hands on it fairly early. Amazon kind of shipped them out a little early to me. I've had hands on since last Thursday, and I know that Web Dave, I think you got yours a few days ago, maybe 2 days ago. So you've put some time into the device too. And full disclosure, Kay, he has not purchased a device yet.
I've not gotten one yet. I need a device that the reason I haven't gotten one is because it either needs to be different or better than this.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about that because this is why I'm so excited to talk about this device, because not only are we going to really go in depth with it, with the unit as a whole and what it offers to this specific market that has really taken off, Kay. Okay, this handheld market is off to the races. We have lots of different competitors bringing out devices such as the Aeon Neo, the Neo, the Odin Pro. You have the Steam Deck, obviously is probably the most popular and in my opinion the best of the bunch for price versus performance, what you're getting right overall. But this is what's intriguing about this, and I think that this is kind of like where I want to shed some light on this. Is there room for this device, for this Logitech G-Cloud? And my answer may surprise a lot of people here, but we'll get into that in a little bit, right? So right off the bat, Dave, let's get your thoughts on the ergonomics of the device. How does it feel? Talk to me about the buttons, about the layout, the screen, the resolution, all that good stuff. Give me your first initial impressions on the ergonomics of the device.
I like it. I like the way it feels. It feels like a controller. I like it that it's bigger than a Switch, and the Switch, the controllers and the Switch, they drop in and out. They come apart, the Joy-Cons, and I never really. I mean, I'll play it for sure, but I don't necessarily like playing on the Switch because it doesn't feel like a controller to me.
Okay.
Where this actually feels, like a controller. And the little grip things are nice. It's
Right.
very clean. It's very light. Screen is good size, good, good resolution. It's I don't have any complaints. As far as the actual device itself, I really like it. I haven't even added to, like, because it has the ability to, you can add up to a gigabyte card and download games from the Google store and play those natively on here if you want to. I haven't done that yet, but I know you can. I've been really, really, really playing a lot of Game Pass and a lot of cloud gaming, and also streaming from my Xbox Series X, and I love doing that because I bought some really nice games digitally on that. Elden Ring, and then playing Elden Ring on this, where we're watching TV. My wife's watching her shows, and I can just sit right beside her in my chair, kick back, and play Elden Ring. I'm loving it. Love it, love it,
Okay.
love it.
So overall, you would say it's the feel of the device, right? Is
Hmm.
something that really caught me off guard, because when I first got the device in, right, and I picked it up, the first thing that I thought was, wow, this thing's really light. So definitely one point and one advantage I can give to Logitech is that they got the feel right. I personally am a big fan of the way that they went with the Xbox controller layout of having the analog sticks, not not I don't know how to say the word, but they're not parallel to each other like the PlayStation is. It's the
They're not,
Xbox.
what is it, inline? They're offset.
There you
Xbox
go.
is
Thank you.
offset, and PlayStation's is inline.
Right. So right there, that's my preferred way to play, because I mean, that's just the way that I prefer it. But right off the bat, right there, that is a huge design advantage for myself at least. And the, tell me a little bit about the screen, Dave. How do you feel about the screen?
Oh man, I mean, I think it looks great. It's a handheld, so to be honest, if you were asking me the tech specs at this moment, I couldn't tell you
Right.
what it's running at.
We'll
But to
get to
me,
there.
it looks as good as, like, when I used to have my Vita, original Vita with the OLED. It looks as
Okay.
good as that. I mean, it may not be that good,
Huge
but
praise, by the way.
but
Huge
it
praise. I have my old Vita with the OLED back here, actually right over there. My
yeah,
kid plays it
I
now.
have it
I
as well.
love
Screen is
that.
still amazing.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that is huge
exactly.
praise.
To me, it looks as good as that, especially when you're playing some of these, high end. I mean, Elden Ring is a great game, but it's still not quite the next gen of some of the games that are coming out. But it looks absolutely next gen and amazing on here.
Right.
I just, I'm totally impressed with that aspect of it, and the battery life.
There you go.
I don't have the screen. I don't have it on full brightness at all. I have it like one up or two up from the lowest brightness, and I don't even need it full brightness because it just rocks.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna tell you, let me tell you guys, let me kind of fill you in on my experience so far.
yes.
So when I first received it on Thursday, I I was able to kind of manage to justify this purchase because I wasn't originally going to purchase this device. Okay. What made me purchase this device was one day that my daughter was using the Steam Deck, and she mentioned to me that it was really heavy. Okay, my daughter is 7 years old, so she was playing with the Steam Deck, and she's like, "Daddy, this is kind of too heavy for me, right?" And I kind of said, "Hey, wait a minute, is there room here for this Logitech device for my daughter to be able to use and whatnot?" Or and my wife was taking up the TV at the time, so I was left with deviceless at that moment. Okay,
Oh
so
no.
so right there, the quick justification came to my head. I don't want to get really game on my phone because I have the Samsung Flip, and my experience with cloud gaming on the Samsung Flip is that since the phone it isn't wide, it's more like the design that Samsung went with was like a lengthy design pause. Okay, they they decided to do that. So what happens is that the image is shrunk and like if you're playing a shooter like Halo 5, for
Yeah, the
example, or
aspect ratio is going to always be off.
yeah, and I don't like the fact that they border you in. They put the
Mhm.
borders around with the cloud
Because of
gaming,
that aspect ratio. Absolutely.
right? Especially
Everborn Saga, shout out to him. He's saying that his dual sense has the same his dual, what do you call it, the Surface
uh,
Duo,
yeah, the
same
Surface.
problem.
Mhm.
Also has a really weird offset, so when he cloud games, it
He'd
has
love
those
this.
weird borders and stuff.
He'd love
Makes sense.
this. He'd
Yeah.
love this device, and I'll tell you why. Whether you're streaming off the cloud, off Game Pass, off your PC, Moonlight, off the Xbox app on your PC, the whole 7-inch screen, it's full. It takes up the whole screen, and it's very vibrant. And that's the one advantage that I'll give Logitech on this device. If they have the Steam Deck beat anywhere, it's the screen, 100%. Okay.
And to make it to point to drive that point home, I, as a person who doesn't have the G Cloud, I have heard, and this is to drive all your points home. Of all the things I've heard about the G Cloud, right? And I'll tell you how I like what I've heard because I don't have it in hand.
Right.
I've heard that ergonomics are amazing, and that's not from you. Like I'm hearing that from you now, but I've heard that from Jump. Ergonomics amazing. The screen second to none. Battery life insane. You know, very light, right? Because it doesn't have like really hard detailed specs in it that require cooling and all this stuff, so it can be very nice and light. And since most of the radios are functioning for Wi-Fi and whatnot, your battery will last you a long time because all it is just the screen in the radios. So all that stuff lines up. Everything you guys are telling me now,
All
that is
pluses.
exactly what I've heard. Yes,
all pluses, all
Absolutely.
nothing but
Yep.
praises from me. What about you,
Yep.
Web Dave? Would you agree with pretty much the consensus on the device, on the positives of it?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Very, very much so.
Uh,
And I tell you, sorry, didn't
no,
mean to-
go ahead. Go ahead.
but I'm saying the you know, it's, I mean, I'm even, I can watch movies and stuff on here. Not that it's not what it's designed for, but it's comfortable and it's a good, it's a good size, landscape as far as the, what you're seeing as far as you get not landscape. Anyway, the word I'm looking for is
16 by 9.
yeah, but I mean
The
it's
aspect
got
ratio. Mhm.
yeah, the aspect ratio, but it's it doesn't you don't feel like you're losing anything. I mean, this is, it's not like I like watching on my phone, which is smaller. It's a good size screen. Put the headphones in or Bluetooth headphones, and you're
Very
good to go.
immersive. Very
Yeah,
immersive.
exactly, and
Yeah.
it's very, because the screen is a good quality, that you're able to to enjoy. I mean, all kinds of movies, TV shows. I mean, like I said, I know that's definitely not what this is for, but it does this too,
I'm gonna
and this.
I agree with you 100%, Web Dave. I started watching YouTube videos
Mm-hmm.
yesterday on it, and like an hour passed, and I was just watching, trailer after trailer, just admiring the colors, the pop, all that good stuff. And I was also testing out some headphones that I bought. So 100%, guys, 100%. Now, here's the thing: whoever's watching this video obviously is going to be what deemed a hardcore gamer. So why should a quote unquote hardcore gamer buy this, right? And I'm going to get into that. But the device who it's catered to, in my opinion, is good enough, and it gets the job done with, okay, it's very easy. It's very easy to navigate through the menus. The Xbox Game Pass app is there. If you want to install Stadia for 2 months that are left on Stadia, if you want to,
It still works really well. I was playing
GeForce,
chorus on it a couple of days ago.
There you go.
GeForce Now, Beast, it's on there.
Absolutely. Yeah,
All
yeah.
that good stuff. Super simple for the user, which I think is huge. Okay, which I think is huge because a device like the Steam Deck, when I was on your show earlier this year, Kay, and we talked about it after having hands-on time with it.
Yep.
One of my gripes with the device was that I didn't feel like if it was user intuitive, it wasn't user friendly. Okay.
Yeah, it's not for entry level users. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You kind of have to get your hands dirty. Where with this, you can turn it on, you can click on the app, sign in, and you're playing.
And you're playing, yes.
And you're playing.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's another advantage to this, to the market that this is catered to. So how would I sell this to a quote unquote hardcore gamer like us, right? A tech head hardcore gamer like us. This is my experience with it, and I'll share with you guys my breakthrough moment, because I am high on this device, super high on it. Okay, so again, caveat: I did pay $199. I did not pay $349 or the $299.
Yeah, let's stop a moment and
Yeah.
have a conversation about that.
Absolutely.
Because I think that changes a lot.
Absolutely, it
Continue.
does. It does. It does. But here's here's the thing.
Uh-oh.
After my week with it, if
Now you would have paid that $300 or $350.
I would have paid the $299.
See, I love it how people who pay less always say I would have paid more, but you paid
Absolutely, absolutely. I got you. And
you gotta tell me how you did that, sir.
Well, I had credit on Amazon, okay, because I have
okay.
my
So
Amazon
ultimately it
business.
just worked out in your favor.
Yeah, it worked out in my favor. Amazon business card, accumulate the Amazon money, and you know,
I feel you.
so it came out to $199. Okay, so
This man, see,
know
this is how it happens. Every time I'm on a podcast with this man, I learn more about his buying and selling than anything else.
I asked him if it fell off a truck or something. I was
nah, dude. Let me tell you, man. When you grow up and you know, and your mom kind of has to figure things out, and you want
You gotta
games
do
and
what
stuff,
you gotta do,
you learn to rent a game on Blockbuster, and if you don't like it, go back and tell them that your mom says the game is too gory or
violent.
something. Yeah, too violent to get something else right away. Okay, the hustler in me.
Right.
No,
Indeed. That's good, man.
But
see,
go ahead.
So is it safe to say you're well? Okay, you said that you buy it at the price that it's
Yes.
MSRP'd, which I hear you.
Yeah.
But is there some cloudiness?
Yes, there is,
because of the discounted price that you received.
If you're going to use it in the same fashion that I'm going to describe now, it's 100% justified the $299, $349 price tag.
Okay.
If you're just going to use it to pick up and play Game Pass on it and through the Android app, and you're just going to use it to remote
or what it was literally billed as.
Yes. I say no, not yet. Okay. And here's the thing, where this device really shined for me was as soon as I installed Moonlight, and it became an extension of my PC.
Yep.
Okay. And I'll tell you why.
This thin light thing just does amazing graphics, and you don't know how the heck that happened. It's amazing. Yeah.
And
we got to talk after this show, by the way.
And here's the thing.
Hooked up on that.
And here's the thing. Whoever's listening to this, if you want an extension of your PC, yes, the Steam Deck is there for $50 more. It's local. It's the smart call. If you want to use your PC in another room without carrying the actual PC around, and you want a device that is going to have longer battery life than the Steam Deck, it's going to look nicer and sharper than the Steam Deck, and just the overall build of it is something you can stick in your pocket, in your back pocket, and walk around. This is a good pickup. Now, why Moonlight compared to the Android, the Android Xbox app that's installed here? I'm gonna have to call out Xbox on something right now. Okay, their cloud gaming that they're offering on the Android device that's currently in beta right now, it's lacking on the resolution. Okay.
True.
And I think that if I had to give them feedback somewhere, and believe me, I've left feedback many times after I've tried out different games through the app that they asked for feedback. Their codec that they're using, in my opinion, is not where it needs to be in comparison to Stadia, Nvidia, or Amazon. I think that when it comes to the bit rate and the codec that Microsoft is using, I think that they're not there yet. And I don't know, and obviously you're talking about Stadia, that their YouTube, they have the compression down to a science, probably to a formula, to an algorithm, which they're going to be probably distributing out, right? You got to believe that they're going to make some money off that technology.
Oh, I can tell you they're doing that already, but continue.
Oh, okay. So whatever Stadia has been able to get down pack, Microsoft needs to get there, because
Yep.
and whoever tries out this device, I want you to try one game in particular that I did a lot of testing with, and that is Batman Arkham Knight. Not only is that game 900p on the Xbox, which the resolution, it being so washy, I want to say, when you're playing it on local hardware, when you're streaming it, you can see it even more. On top of that, you can see the fuzziness around the guide. When you pull up the guide when you remote into an Xbox and you want to like send a message to your friends or something, you can really see the fuzziness there, right? So my first impressions with the device, I was already going to return it. I was like,
real quick here, a quick aside, and when you try Moonlight, perfect.
Moonlight is S tier, sir.
Okay, so I think I know what you're experiencing.
Okay.
I think I know what you're experiencing. And it's a technical thing, and I think I know what you're experiencing. I'm not 100% sure, but but speculation, I think I might be right here. What I suspect is happening, and that's just this class of device, like when Microsoft notices who's connecting, they cater it to who's connecting. And all the other devices, browsers, this and that, they can't pinpoint. This is their first device that they have authorized for use in xCloud. So I think, and Microsoft has been doing this for a while anyway, even in general, like they take a very conservative approach, like your description here, like compared to Stadia, compared to Luna, compared to GeForce Now. They are the weakest as far as technology and output. Why? Because I think they want it that way. They don't want to push the envelope because it's just an option, right?
Gotcha.
To the point where last Christmas, when people started really like when what do you call it? Fortnite first made a big splash on there. You had to wait in lines just to play the game, right? They're in beta and they enjoy being there. I suspect the reason why you see what you see is because the G-Cloud is connecting, and it sees the G-Cloud connecting and gives you G-Cloud profiled connection. And the reason why I say that is because it doesn't have a Wi-Fi 6 radio. There are certain things that it may be lacking, and they want your experience to be best. And how is the experience best? Feel, not necessarily look. Look looks bad, sure, but perfect. Feel is awesome.
Yes,
right?
Yes. No, there is zero lag.
Zero lag,
when
but it doesn't look great.
Yes, sir.
They prioritize feel over look.
You're right on the money. Now, you might be right, because I haven't really seen or heard anyone else talking about this. And the thing is that, remember, when you're using xCloud on your phone, it's compressed even smaller. So you really can't see that pixelation that I'm talking about, that distortion, that fuzziness. But on a screen big, like this device has, a 7-inch screen, you can kind of start noticing those things. But so my first initial thoughts, I'm not happy with this thing, right? All of a sudden, by the end of the night, after I install Moonlight and I get rolling with Moonlight, dude, I completely did a 180 on this device. I saw the light.
Yep.
The past week, I beat 3 games on the device.
Wow, awesome.
I beat the Fear trilogy while
yeah, I know you were playing Fear. Oh, so you were playing Fear trilogy through your PC on that device
with zero lag.
Awesome.
And I will tell you, a near native experience, Mr. Asante. Near native. So think about what I just said for a second. Not only am I streaming my PC, but within my PC, I'm also streaming my console. So think about that for a second, because remember, for me to play Fear, the trilogy, I needed to do it from Fear 1 was a disc in my Xbox Series X. Fear 2 was a digital title. And Fear 3 was also disc-based.
You went from from Moonlight to PC streaming xCloud, streaming
Remote
remote
play.
play.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
so you went another layer, and
And
it still somehow worked out better than their default method of. Wow, they really have limited that thing. That's crazy.
Yes, sir. But it won me over 100%
Yeah.
because now I was literally, it is the Xbox Series M for mobile. It
Yeah.
turned into that mobile experience. On top of that, right? If I wanted to play a game through Game Pass on my PC, I was able to do that at
Of course.
1080p,
Yep.
60 frames per second.
Just load it on the PC and then Moonlight connect to it. Yes.
No,
The only side effect, the only bad side effect, unfortunately, is your PC and your big beast must be on all the time.
yes, sir. So
That's
that's
unfortunate. Yeah.
so it's unfortunate, and that's the thing, right? But again, it won me over. It
I know,
won me
absolutely.
because it was
Absolutely, yeah.
such a positive experience. Now,
Mhm, mhm.
again, that's nothing that is unique to this device because
Sure.
you can do the same on any Android device.
And
So
for the record, Moonlight is an open source. So that's the reason why, like, if you're having issues with compression on a device that's curated, that's why you'd go to Moonlight, because Moonlight they'll use whatever bandwidth you have. It'll reach the ends of whatever bandwidth you have. So potentially that's why you're getting much better throughput with that. That's cool.
now let me ask you, Web Dave, what I just experienced with the fuzziness, with the resolution, as I was telling you in the green room, I had that issue and I thought it was a me problem. I thought that my connection wasn't strong enough. I have a pretty badass router, an Asus Wi-Fi 6 router, even though that it has 5 gigahertz antenna. I will tell you guys right now that I would love to see a breakdown of this device because whatever antenna that they used, they did not go cheap on. I can tell you that right now.
Okay.
It's good.
Mhm.
From the week that I have been playing,
I'll agree with that.
I can honestly say that only a handful of times have I had any artifacting, lagging, anything like that. So
what I can tell you is
solid.
from a tech perspective, it is the best radios that are out now. Whereas tech guys were looking for the best radios that are coming out. They are the best. It's 2x MIMO, which is multi-path connections. It's not Wi-Fi 6, it's 5, but it's literally like the best you can get in a device right now. Oh, what's going on to Lucius and Gushers?
What's up, Lucius? Thank you for
Yes.
joining us. We're talking about the Logitech G-Cloud, brother.
You're right. It does Wi-Fi N, Wi-Fi A, B, C. It is as fast as you can get without going to the next level,
Right.
which is 6.
Exactly. So Web Dave, tell me about, have you, before I brought this to light on this conversation, you're really high on this device from your first initial, you were hyped about, there wasn't any time that anything was a letdown for you from the start?
Well, the only thing that let me down, which really wasn't, it's not pre-installed, but was the being able to remote play with my PlayStation 5.
Okay.
So you can download that app and it won't connect.
Controllers won't work.
Right,
Exactly.
because of the controller. And I didn't realize that at first.
Yeah.
So, but then John told me about a workaround. There is another third-party
Application.
program.
Yes, third-party app. I've used that before.
And for me, it hasn't. I've still got to do a little more work on it, but
a little tweaking.
Right. But John has got it to work, and he really enjoys being able to do it. And me, that's my mission, is to get that done soon, because I want to play Ghost of Tsushima on here. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I want all the stuff that's on my hard drive on my PlayStation 5. I want to be able to play that as well. But no, it's and I also went like in my backyard, on my porch, out by the fire pit. I went to my car out front of the house, still connected to the Wi-Fi, and played a few things just to test the range, and that's 50 yards or more from my router. I have the AT&T fiber optics high-end plan, and it's the fiber optic model of the router that comes with it. So it's gigabyte. So it's a nice little router that they supply with it. So but yet it's still, I didn't have any issues or any problems. And the one thing, I know we're not quite on this subject yet, but just to show you, you can even do StreamYards. You don't have a camera,
Yeah.
but I could broadcast and start a show like what we're doing right now.
Right now through that device. Yeah, that's great.
Correct.
Now, does it have a Chrome browser or is it like a proprietary custom browser?
Got the Chrome browser. That's
It's
what
a
I'm doing
standard
on.
Chrome. What did it come with the standard Chrome browser, or did
It
you
did.
install this? It
Did,
did come with
already
the standard
pre-installed.
Chrome.
It did.
Okay.
And I've done so much testing because I wanted to see xCloud. I really wanted to push xCloud on this device to the limit. So I even downloaded the Edge beta browser.
The Canary browser.
Yes, because I know that there's FPS, not FPS. I'm sorry,
Clarity boost or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And even with that, it still kind of saw the same thing here, right? But whatever, Dave. So, have the specific question: did you experience that fuzziness thing, or is that something that now I've kind of shed some light on that? Maybe now you do see it.
I have noticed it. But
Okay.
the only thing I would say to that is that year and a half ago I had eye surgery. I used to be able to see close up really well.
Okay.
But I can't
That's
now.
okay.
So now
No,
to see,
that's
I
okay.
can see far away, which I hadn't seen since the third grade.
Brother, you
okay?
better check them prescriptions, man. No,
Well,
just
no,
playing,
it's
man.
not that. So I have to use cheaters to see up close.
I got
So,
you.
so
I
watching,
got you.
so playing handheld, I've got to wear my cheater. But yet, it's a 2.0 level on the like I said, these
Right.
are the dime store cheaters, like $3 or whatever. But so I'm able to see, and to me, looks fantastic. It doesn't. I haven't noticed
Absolutely.
any fuzzy,
So-
but then again,
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
this is the point that I'm trying to make here. That's why I'm harping in on this.
Mhm.
For me, right? For me, I'm looking for that upper echelon of I want to say of experience, right? I want this. When you get the Steam Deck, you're getting the cream of the crop. You're getting top end stuff, right? And I think that that's why gamers need to hear this.
Mhm.
You can definitely get that with this device if you use it as an extension of your PC.
yes,
Okay. And I think that you will be very, very satisfied with that. 100%. In fact, 1000%. And why?
Okay.
can I?
Please finish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, I want to jump in here too, real quick.
Go ahead.
Are you ready? Okay. So, just as, the point you were talking about about the system and this price of the system. Well, I paid $300 for it, and $300. I think it's a great comfortable price. I know it's now $349. I think eventually it'll come down to $250, maybe something like that. I can see it. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying, for what's in here, what the tech that's in here, it's too much. But for me, I would rather have this on the go when I'm like going around town, or throw it in the car, throw it in a backpack, and take it around. And if this got messed up or broken or scratched or damaged, granted it's $300, and I know it's a lot of money for a lot of people, but I would feel better about this getting destroyed
Instead of a Steam Deck.
than my $560
Yeah.
Steam Deck getting destroyed. That's why the Steam Deck, to me, it doesn't leave my house.
That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it.
Can I poke you guys a little bit? Let me poke you guys a little bit.
Absolutely.
Let me do one of these things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's do that. All right. So this is devil's advocate time here. Let's play. All right. So I hear you on that, but here's my question. Well, not my question. First off, a statement. I hear you on your point, Dave. The only thing that for me, what is a little bit unfortunate about it is that's what I want to do with this device. That's exactly what I want. And I had exactly the similar experience to you, John. I happened to be at a barbershop. I hand my daughter, my 5-year-old Steam Deck. She's playing Mario Kart, and I'm just sitting there going, sweating bullets while my hair's getting cut. I'm like, oh God, has she dropped it? Because what am I going to do if she drops it? That's that kind of thing. So I hear you on that. But that price tag does not make this thing throw around capable.
you're right.
300 is a little much for the throw around. It should be like $150 for the throw around. That's one thing. Thing number two,
Yep.
If you want this device, and this is just my opinion on it, if you want a device that you can just take with you everywhere, it needs to have righteous mobile radios. It can't be a Wi-Fi device that without internet is very crippled and then be capable of going places, right? That's why I chose the Razer instead of this one when I pre-ordered, because I know
we'll
on the
get
Razer's
there.
end.
What are you paying for your Razer?
I'll get there. And I'm playing devil's advocate because realistically, I could do the same thing with this, but it requires a tinkerer's hand before this becomes useful off of Wi-Fi.
Right.
But
hold on. With that
Mhm.
said, for me and you to justify this device, we need to install a couple of things on it and make it an extension of our computer. Really take advantage. Really take advantage of it. But hold that thought, because let me just finish this and then I'll let you get your point. On the flip side of that, this device also works for the casual, for the targeted audience, in that you turn it on and you're flying. So from
no need to tinker, no need to set up anything, just your username, your password, you're good to go.
They have the Apple simplicity down to a T with the software that's installed on it and all that good stuff. Go ahead with your point.
So I want to ask a question more than make a point when it comes to this, because I think I've shared this with you guys. When I am a tech guy, I love technology, but when I look for tech, there are three YouTubers I go to for most things, and you know who they are. I've shared you the stuff, and between the three of them, one loves it, one's medium, and one hates it. Like, what the heck is this thing here for? Right. The deep tech guy, he hates it. The guy who's just about retro games and stuff, he's like, okay. And then one really loves it. So my question to you guys is, and I'm basically hearing it based off of what I've read and what I've watched others review off of it, right? And basically taking what you guys are saying, it does sound like they might have a point. One of the big points I've heard about this device is, for what they build it as, it is exactly correct. Meaning, if you're using it for cloud gaming and it's there as a cloud device for cloud gaming, for Xbox, for all the defaults that are there, it is absolutely what it's meant to be for. And for that, John Wolf, I agree with you. It's overpriced.
It's overpriced.
Right? It's exactly what it's there for. The problem I have, and this is where my question comes in, right? Based on the reviews I've heard and the tech guys who've been reviewing it, the reason why they say it falls apart is the minute you try to use it outside of its use case. Meaning, here you are, like, I'm looking at this wonderful UI right now, right? It's based on Android. You happen to be someplace you're not in a Wi-Fi zone. You try to swipe down, nothing works. It's super restrictive when it's in handheld mode. You can't do any Android things. It's very limited, even though Android by default lets you swipe all over the place. The minute you're in this UI,
it's on the screen right now, because that's not the UI. That's the Game Pass.
Oh no, that's
that's Game Pass.
I'm talking the green UI that chooses.
And it's a very. Let me explain it. It's a very dumbed down,
like that.
It's very dumbed down, very user friendly, simple. Hey, click here to get you to where you need.
What I hear though is the problem with that is it's an Android device. So people buy it as an Android device. Oh, I want to go and use it as an Android device. When you're in that UI, it becomes less of an Android device. You can't do Android-y stuff with it.
It does, but then again, like, for example, they've made it so that the App Store is all the way to the left always. So your App Store is always at a finger's touch, and you can install. I just installed Marvel Snap on it. It runs okay, runs decent, not great, decent. For it doesn't. You can't run 60 frames per second. That's not the market that I think that they're targeting here with this thing. But this is why this is so interesting, Kay. If I was just expecting to have this device with the Xbox app installed on it, handing it off to my daughter, call it a day. No, this device has become something that I look forward to using. And I think that the combination of things here is what has won me over. The combination that I paid $199, the combination of Moonlight, the extension of my PC, the combination of the zero lag that I have experienced when connected through Moonlight. It has been such a pleasant experience for me that I can honestly say that if you ask me now, if Amazon sent me a bill for an extra $100, I would not send it back. I would pay.
What would you say if I said to you, and you won't notice, and the minute I say this to you, you'll start noticing it.
Tell me.
I hope I'm wrong because it may be a bad batch. But what would you say if I told you that screen stays at 60 frames per second when it starts and then goes 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 60, 59, 57, 58.
It's something
It
that
does a lot of weird technical things that techie people like, and again, I can only speak off of based on reviews. They hate it because it's like, why is it this thing is supposed to be 60 frames per second, but it's sitting there dropping to 54?
Absolutely. And like it's something I haven't noticed myself. What I will tell you is, again, it is a near native experience for myself when using Moonlight. It's won me over. I will continue to game this way. Now the thing
pretty
is
awesome. The fact that you've been able to, piggyback off of Moonlight, and
it's
cool.
It's been a fantastic experience.
Even with a middle ground, it still doesn't lose latency. It's still just as fast. That's pretty awesome. That's awesome.
Near native experience.
John,
that's awesome.
Yes,
you have yours handy.
I do.
Okay, can you? All I can say is it may or may not work. I tried to go into while we were talking. I was going to go into the Steam link, and as soon as I did, it took over the screen and everything. I had to back out of it. You guys can still see me, but I couldn't hear you guys or anything. So I was like, because this is the same PC that
it'll automatically start playing your movie or whatever, or whatever's on the Steam.
Right, exactly. It was a Steam program. So, but see, can you try and do that with the
Steam?
Yeah,
through the Steam link right now. You want me to try?
Not Steam link, but the other one.
You're talking about through Moonlight. If I do it, I'm gonna lose kind of the setup that I have going on here, because it's gonna transfer to.
Because it literally just like goes into your Moonlight, goes into your PC and acts like you're trying to play a game. We'll load a game on your computer,
exactly,
and stream it to the device.
And
all right, let me ask you this then.
Sure.
So you're able to get into your Xbox account on PC.
Correct.
And does that mean you're able to play Death Stranding, which is a PC only?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You can stream any game through PC Game Pass, because it's mirroring your what's on the screen of your PC.
Yep.
So if Death Stranding is playing on your screen, on your monitor, it's mirroring it on the device.
Okay,
now
I got one thing to say.
Sure.
Excellent.
Okay.
and that's when this thing really, that's when my eyes were opened on this whole cloud gaming. I finally saw the light, right? Because it was something that I saw as supplemental, right? But the experience that I have had this past week has honestly been so transformational in the way that I'm gaming, okay, that it thanks to this device, and again, it's not what the device can do. It's because I was testing it and I was using it. You can replace this device with an Android phone, with a key
with
sheet,
any other tablet or any other
exactly
thing. It's Moonlight in your capability to use it to get to that. That's what I get you.
But
this device introduced it to you, so for this device is special to you.
It's special. Understand. On top of that, the screen, the real estate of the screen, I haven't even gone into the speakers on this thing. The speakers are phenomenal.
Have you guys actually played more with like native Android games? Is that a thing you guys have tried out on it? Like your Call of Duties and your Fortnites and whatnot.
I've tried Call of Duty. The controller will not work because
it's only touchscreen.
It's only touchscreen. That's an Activision.
Unless you plug in an Xbox controller, it only supports Xbox controllers.
That there is a workaround which you can connect an Xbox controller to to the blue, and there's also a mapper that you can
Yeah,
download.
there's software mapping. There's
Yeah.
software map, which another reviewer complained about. If this is going to be a cloud device and Android secondary, but they bill it as playing Android games. A lot of Android games are touchscreen. Why
Right.
not put software together like you worked out with your UI, so
Right.
it maps software to touching the buttons, and then that would have solved it.
This device is not for Android games. I can tell you that right now.
Which is weird because it's Android backed.
But it is. But I get it because the push are the cloud services.
Yeah, it's all about that cloud.
It's
It's
all
about that
it.
cloud.
It should be the reason that you want this thing. It cannot. You shouldn't want to get this if you want to play Diablo Immortal on it. It will play. I have it installed at 30 frames, low settings. It will play, but you know what's even sweeter? Playing it, streaming it from
Because then you get higher frame rates
from my PC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with all that said, the combination of all these little things, Kay, is what has really sold me on this, and I will be an advocate for this device. I can see this device being good for individuals that are looking for a device to pick up and stream from the cloud, from pick your service that you are subscribed to. It will get the job done. The ergonomics on it are fantastic. The screen art is fantastic, but I feel like if what's hanging over it is the price, justifiably so. I get it, because I'm telling you right now that I think that the majority of people that have shown interest on this device would have probably picked it up if it was $149 or $199.
Bro, if this device was a little bit cheaper, I would be telling you about how much I like it right now. But the reason why I can't do that is because, like, I've owned a piece, like, phones that had this exact chipset, like even with more RAM, right? And that was in 2 years ago. So
Right.
when you tell me that the device it's basically like Nintendo selling you a brand new thing called the Switch in 2022 with a chipset they built when they built it and charging you $300 for it, right? It's upsetting. make it $150 and I will buy it, and I'll make it stocking stuffers for a bunch of people, because then it's and let's be real here. I was devil's advocating about what I don't like about it, but even the people that I follow and the reviews I've seen, you do a little tweaking to it, you go a little above and beyond, you can get, like, I think it goes as far as I think people have gotten it as far as PS2.
Yep.
PS2
At least
everything beneath that.
At least half of the PS2 catalog.
At least half.
Not your upper echelon of PS2 games, and not your upper echelon of GameCube titles. But
it'll still do if you have a few favorites here and there, and you're at a bus stop somewhere and you have no Wi-Fi. It's still something that's capable, and it's still able to do stuff with it. All I want to do, from what I can tell, and you guys can correct me if I'm mistaken here, all I'm waiting for are two things. Well, three things. As you guys have described, how Steam Deck is now, really spurred on this market, right? In doing so, people also now are really big into Steam Deck, like, customization. They're putting boot screens on there. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. I need those eyes to be on this thing, because when those eyes are on this thing, those small gaps will be solved by the community.
Well,
right?
I'll put it to you like this. I've seen videos where all of your Android launchers have been installed on this sucker.
Yes, you can remove the launcher, and put your own deal on it. That solves the whole restrictive Android situation.
Yep.
That's the stuff I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
And the final piece of the puzzle, what Lucius Augustus said there in the chat, if you find yourself that this thing is $150, oh boy, it's on, right? It's absolutely on, because then it becomes, oh, I have a couple kids here, a couple friends. Oh, $150, it's tough, but it's not $350, right? $350 will get you two of them. You know what I'm saying? So
I would say $199.99 would be.
Oh yeah, $99 is the way to go, 100%. Yeah. And let's be honest, and let's be real. The chipset demands it, because chips have increased exponentially since this chip was created.
Right,
exponentially. The only reason why they're doing this is because they want some money off of it, which of course you got to get some money off of it, right?
Right.
But they could make this $99 and it would still be okay.
Yeah.
Right. And
I think the first drop when they go to if they go down to the introductory price of the 300, I think they'll really pick up in sales. I think if they did a 249, I think that
see
would
250
really
Black Friday.
Yeah, that would be.
I see 250, and even that I think is a bit much. I see 250 Black Friday. I see 200 Black Friday. Maybe a year or two, because they have to iterate quickly if they want to like catch the fire, because a lot of different devices are coming out quickly, right?
But
so I can imagine another one of these things come out next year, and this one will become a little cheaper as well.
Yeah, you can see more people thinking, okay, for 250, I'll get it. You know what I mean? Compared to 350, that's $100.
The problem, unfortunately, that I see that these guys have is because, and let's be real, right? There have been others in this market for a long time, but because Valve got in as cheap as they did, now every 5 minutes a new one's coming. Every 5 minutes, it's like smartphones when they first came out and Android jumped in. 15 billion of them showed up overnight. Right. So out of nowhere now we have this one and that one and this one and that, and many of them aren't as turnkey and as easy as to use as this one is. So this one gets a much bigger bump in the zeitgeist than in the conversation.
Hey, can I throw this in here?
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, you were finishing.
No. Please continue.
So we're talking about price, and we mentioned it earlier, and I'd like to see if we could circle back to this other device that you
the
are
Razer.
high on. Yeah, the Razer.
Oh, definitely.
Let's talk about that and what price
the
point you think it's going to be.
The price difference, though, is justified there from the tech guy. Yes, because you're getting an OLED 144 hertz screen. You're getting a Snapdragon processor that's faster. Well, it's just as fast as the chipset inside the Quest Pro that just came out.
But how much for all that?
$400.
$399.
Which is basically a Steam Deck. So you're getting an Android Steam Deck. But the difference is, and I don't know this to be true 100% because we haven't touched it yet, but based on the specs and based on the hardware, the only limiting factor there will be Android, and Android is not that limiting.
Right.
And here's the thing, right? So after my experience with the Logitech G-Cloud this past week, right? I immediately pre-ordered this device. Immediately. And the reason is because of the power aspect of the device. But one factor that really sold me was the Wi-Fi 6 capabilities. And after my experience with this Wi-Fi chipset in this device and the fantastic experience that I've had this past week, the possibility of streaming up to 120 frames on this device, because it does 144 hertz, is mind-boggling to me. And that really is, those two components is really what sold me on this device. So I'm seeing this as the upgrade to my Logitech G-Cloud. This is, I'll put it to you guys like this so that you understand. This is my Series X to my Logitech G-Cloud being my Series S.
Fair enough.
Where now is this needed?
And it's white too.
Yeah, I mean,
white too. Exactly.
I mean, is it needed? No, absolutely not. What's going on, Hamid? And we got the game complainers. What's up? So is it needed? No. But here's the thing, and like I mentioned before, I'm all in on this aspect of this extension of my gaming, of my gaming habits, of the way that I game, the extension of my devices because of this cloud capability. I'm all in on this cloud future, honestly, where before when you mention, let's not sugarcoat it, guys. When you mention the word cloud, everybody makes his face like, ugh, no, never.
Those that haven't experienced it make their faces. It's kind of like folks talking smack about VR because it hasn't been tested. But when that killer app comes out and they get past the hump, then it becomes, oh, it was always great. right? Whereas right now, people can easily go, and everybody else is agreeing with it.
Don't
because
take away
they
my
haven't-
box.
It hasn't
Don't
tested, you know.
don't take away my box. Listen, listen. The
Exactly.
way what I've learned this past week is that you need to treat devices like this as an extension to your current gaming device, right?
Yeah.
It needs to make sense and you need to figure out how to fit it in your life. All right. So for example, where before I would need to be on my PC to really get the full benefits of my 3070 graphics card, I need to be stationed here, right? Thanks to this thing, okay, I can now go to the room. I can now sit on my couch, and I'm not losing.
Actually, with Moonlight, providing you have a Wi-Fi connection somewhere, you could be like anywhere in the world as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. And
So this is
internet
$400, right?
I'm sorry.
This is $400.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
$400. Yes.
Is that with 5G?
No.
No.
That's the thing. It is not with 5G, but
Okay.
but it's got not only it's not whereas the G-Cloud has the best radios for Wi-Fi you can buy today.
Right.
This thing has the best Wi-Fi radios you can buy today, tomorrow, and probably next week. It's
I got
not
you.
only
I
got
got
Wi-Fi
you.
6, it's got the Wi-Fi 6E protocol on there.
Is
which
there going to be a model of this that has the ability to
There
connect to
is.
5G?
Yes, there is
But how
there is an
much is that?
LTE with millimeter wave LTE, like real 5G on this thing. There is
About-
How
real
much is
5G.
that?
Expected about $50 to $100 more.
More probably. Yep.
Okay, but then you have to have what service?
Most likely a Verizon service.
Right.
Okay, so that leaves me out.
Yeah.
But
So just let's be clear here. These
Yeah.
two devices are marketed towards different use cases, right?
Right.
Absolutely
You're
different
right.
use cases.
Absolutely.
Like the G-Cloud is marketed towards entry level. Hey, I don't know what this is about. Let me give it a shot. You put in your username, you put in your password, you're off to the races. That's all this
Yeah.
does, right?
No, it
And
looks
it's
great.
Perfect
And-
at that, right? This is not geared towards that. This is geared towards your tinkerers. This is your Steam Deck aficionados, but on Android.
Right.
when you get this, Asante,
Mhm.
and you have a show about this, please
Which
invite
I
me
will.
on because
Oh, of
I
course I
don't know
will.
if I'm going to buy one yet, but I want
Oh
to
yeah,
be on
you
the
have every
panel.
right to come on
I
and
know,
dash
but-
all of my wonderful dreams
No,
with it.
no, that's not what I want to do. I want to get your perspective when
Oh,
you
yeah,
have
of
it in
course,
your
of course.
hand.
Yeah.
Because if you say, and it's everything you want it to be on your show when you do this, and I'm sure you'll probably invite John.
Let me be clear here. The bar is very high right now.
Okay.
Very
Oh, yeah.
high, right?
But if,
Oh,
but
yeah,
if you
but
guys
no
are both
device better
sold
than
on it,
this
then
device.
that's when
but
I would get one.
Hold on,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that there's something very important here because I see a lot of people doing this, Dave. It's not fair to compare the Logitech G-Cloud and
Oh,
this
yeah.
device to the Steam
True.
Deck. It's
Well, hold on. I will
it's
compare
not-
this to the Steam Deck, but I
I-
won't compare the G-Cloud to the Steam Deck.
I'm going to tell you why I don't agree with you, Kay,
Okay.
because the Steam Deck
It's getting
Mhm.
nasty.
is a mini PC. Not saying that the cell phone isn't.
Oh no,
But-
absolutely.
but-
You're
but-
not
but-
wrong.
But the Steam Deck is, imagine if you shrunk down a PC and you're carrying it around. That's
100%.
what it is, where this is
Yes.
in the same line as a cell phone.
Well, but
So-
the reason why I compare them is because they are exactly the same price, right? And it's in a world where the Steam Deck exists, and you want to be bold and come out here, throw a bunch of specs at the wall, and charge me the same price. That means I'll judge you because the same amount of money would be
That's a
used
great-
for one versus the other.
That's a
right?
great point. That's a great point.
The
That-
only reason why I compare them is because this has a better screen than the Steam Deck, and they are quick to tell you that. This
Yeah.
has, it has by and large certain specs on this thing, like on the new thing, like beat the Steam Deck, right? Your screen on the G-Cloud beats the Steam Deck hands down.
But
right? Mhm.
again, it's very complicated,
Oh
right?
no, I get it.
But-
it's
but
not
the-
it's not an
but-
apples to apples comparison.
Exactly.
It's definitely not an
because-
apples to apples
because
comparison.
guess what? So today during my lunchtime, I was playing on the Steam Deck and I was playing Doom 2016, one of my favorite games of all time.
One of the best games of all time. Continue. Yeah.
Absolutely revolutionized FPS shooters for me.
Indeed.
So give Halo to id, but whatever. So so
Wow.
Blanders.
It went all the way that way. Okay.
yeah, man. I mean, I gotta call it like it is. So what's this called? So I'm playing on
Uh-huh.
that thing and there's in my mind, and I could be wrong because you on the tech side, Kay, your knowledge is way beyond mine, but you cannot run Doom 2016 on this device, on this Razer device. The Steam Deck can run it because of the RDNA 2 graphics chip, AMD
If
graphics
you
card in
can't
there.
run it because it's an ARM device versus the Steam Deck's x86 device.
There you go.
If there was a port version of like this is how you compare it, okay? Basically ARM always has been and is a mobile chipset for phones, right? But you see a lot of manufacturers now saying screw that, ARM is very powerful, we're going to put a desktop class operating system on it. You see Mac OS 10 doing the same thing. You see Apple doing that, right, with their M chips. Those are all ARM based chips. Those are all chips that presumably could run ARM mobile processors, right? Same thing on Windows side. What was it, a week ago they announced that now they have Windows dev kits that run ARM, right? Wow. So they're literally going, you know what, screw this environment is too fertile ground, let's move forward and basically give more resources to these mobile chipsets, and hopefully they'll do more, right? Because people do more mobile computing than they do regular desktop computing these days, right? So the actual good comparison to make with a device like this would be Fortnite. Why? Because there's a version of it at the highest fidelity on Android, right? An ARM-based iteration of the game, as well as a ported version on Windows. There's even one on Switch. That game can literally be like your barometer for all these different versions and see how it is. Mr. Boom. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult to do like Doom 2016 unless there's a version of Doom 2016 that runs on ARM.
But you get where I'm coming from, right?
I hear what you're saying.
So
see, to your point though, and I'll let you speak. Let me just finish this point. I think when this thing comes out and you find devices that do have versions on multiple systems, and I'm not talking about that Call of Duty like debilitated version, right? I'm talking like the full-fledged version that's available here, and that's when we can test. And I suspect this guy might be very surprised. I'm not saying it'll beat Steam Deck, because x86 has always been x86 and it's very powerful and always will be. But I'll be surprised. I suspect folks will be very surprised at what this thing can do when given a game that it's ported for officially. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for explaining that, and that helps me kind of understand the comparisons, right? But the thing is that the one point that I will give the Logitech G-Cloud over this device, not spec-wise, this is, again, the Series X compared to the Series S, is that I kind of do appreciate that Logitech had the, I guess I want to say had the balls to go all in on the handheld build of it, where it's a handheld where Razer decided to make it basically a phone.
You are absolutely right. I was going to go there with you. Give them the smoke, because that is absolutely true.
They had the balls. Logitech had it to say, "Hey, we're a handheld in the same vein that that your traditional handhelds are in." But at the same time, with that said, I do appreciate that Razer on this device is adding haptics. And more importantly,
supposedly their haptics are as good as like Switch haptics, like really good haptics.
That's what I read.
Like PS5 level haptics on this thing.
That's what I read. And the fact that if you do get the dreadful joystick drift,
the Joy-Con drift,
you'll be able to replace it.
So hold on about that, right? It's both a plus, but it's also a little bit of a minus. And let's go there, right? Just for a moment, because as we've already established, right, I think this is a better device than the G-Cloud will be ultimately. I don't know that for sure. We shall see when it comes out.
I think
but let's give it some righteous smoke, okay? Because let's be honest, this device is just like, as much as we'll give like a Logitech some smoke for, you could have done more in the specs. They spent a lot of time on the feel and the ergonomics and the lightness and the way the thing feels in your hand.
Absolutely.
Every single person that has touched this, whether you're technical or non, everyone says, yo, this thing feels amazing in the hand. It's just seamless. It's beautiful, right?
Absolutely. Look at these grips.
Where they lost it was the stuff they put in it. Okay.
Absolutely.
There's always a version 2. Now, the Razer, the reason I give it smoke is because, let's be honest, what did the Razer do? All they did was add their controller, which already exists.
Yeah.
They made a higher version, more quality version, more pro version of their controller, which they're saying you'll be able to buy separately.
Exactly.
Right? And the screen without the controller is just a phone, if you will, without calling features.
Right.
Now, yes, that is smoke on aesthetics. That is smoke on how, and it may very well really work. And if you look at the screen, it works really well and all that. But let's be honest, like, I wish the teams, like I wish that the Logitech team that did the design went and spoke with the team that did the spec research for Razer, because I think the combination of Razer specs and Logitech G-Cloud design would be the ideal device.
I'm happy.
We don't know. Maybe the G-Cloud, the Razer comes out and it's great.
I agree with you.
It looks like a hodgepodge a little bit.
I agree 100%, and I'm glad that Web Dave is here with us today, because the why are you laughing, brother? The advantage that I see, the contribution that Web Dave can give to our talk, to our tech talk, to our more savvy talk with the apps that we should install on this thing, with the Moonlight streaming and all that good stuff, right? To take it to that next level. Web Dave is looking at it coming in, not knowing about the Moonlight streaming app, not knowing that this device can be unlocked to really show its potential. And he's coming at it as, hey, I simply bought this because I wanted to play my games on Game Pass. I from what I'm hearing, he's more than satisfied with it. He's happy with the resolution. He's happy with the screen, with the ergonomics, with all that good stuff.
Built
and
well for him.
Exactly. And I think that the majority of people that are going to buy this device are going to be in the Web Dave camp compared to our camp.
Absolutely. I do not deny that. I do not, unless between now and the next 6 months or so, like, that race to the bottom keeps happening faster. Oh, and now Samsung has a device. Oh, and now this person, because that's happening now, right? And every time they iterate, it's cheaper and cheaper and more stuff and more stuff. That may change the equation here, but for now, and I mean, and even in that world, Logitech can go, screw that, $199, and then they're back on top, right? So there's a fight going on, which I do agree with you that the one that's easiest and most turnkey will win. And so far, that's this guy.
Right. So I do think that there is also a segment of individuals that when they see Xbox games being played on this thing, they're also gonna think that it's a portable Xbox, which may drive sales, and then they'll take it home and find out that they need to stream the game. But at first, they'll be like, "Oh wow!" The thing is,
I learned something new. I just learned something while I was on your stream right now. I just learned something new. Yeah, the Razer will have button mapping software.
There you go.
Thing I said that this thing needed, this will have that.
So again, though, it's Razer's a different company.
It's a different breed. It's made for your techie guy. Right. You can literally live stream off of the Razer device. You can stream to YouTube your gameplay clips. It's the Series X compared to this sucker being the Series S.
I think that's the best way I can put it. But Dave, let me get your thoughts on this. Cloud gaming as a whole, right? When did you first kind of tip your toes into cloud gaming? Are you sold on cloud gaming? Or is it something that you've brought into your gaming habits? Will you game on cloud a couple of nights a week, or is it something that you're just like, I guess if I'm bored, I'll pick up and I'll try the newest game on Game Pass?
Well, I really started doing cloud gaming when they made it so that you could cloud stream through your Xbox. So instead of having to download a huge game file to a hard drive that was already full, I could just hit the cloud button and pretty much instantly jump in to a newer game. and that works great. And that's where I really started doing it. So there's been several games that I've played and beaten that I haven't ever downloaded, but I just streamed them and played them because it was easy to do. So that's that's a version of cloud gaming. But then when the Steam Deck came out, I was like, this is cool. And my son and my daughter, that we all got one same day. So we all jumped on and we're like, this is going to be cool. And we're able to play stuff on that. Like you said, it's basically a PC. So I'm able to play like an old PSO game with my son, and we love it. And it's a 20-year-old game, but we still jump on and we still play, because it's one of those you can get in and out of, an hour, half hour, and you've had a good time with it. But then it's also the ability to do which I had to do a little workaround on the Steam Deck to get it to work right with the when there's a tutorial even on the Xbox site that tells you how to set it all
By
up
the
to
way,
make
I
it
need
work.
to, if Mr. Boomstick is here, I need to help him do that. By the way, so
Brother, that thing is harder to do than taking a
than you
final
think.
exam.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's harder to do than you think.
But,
All right,
but when it
buddy.
was done, I was able to play, cloud gaming through it, and I love it. I think it's great.
Yep.
But I need to get this other software y'all have been talking about. I'm gonna
Moonlight.
Yeah, Moonlight. We're
Moonlight,
gonna
yeah,
have
yeah.
to talk about it. Can you do Moonlight on the Steam Deck
What
as
kind
well?
of video card do you have? Because that matters. On your
Graphics card.
PC.
I don't know.
Who makes it?
I have no idea.
NVIDIA. If NVIDIA
I
makes
think
it,
it's
you're
NVIDIA.
good. GeForce, this, that, and the other, you're good. If it's
It-
AMD, you
it's
can't
NVIDIA.
do Moonlight.
It's NVIDIA.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there you go.
It's a little lower quality one.
Yeah, no worries.
So,
It should.
Because I don't have a
still do the
technical
job.
game PC. It's basically I use it for graphic design and stuff. But yeah,
Oh.
back to your question though about the that's really got into it. And then when I saw this device come out, because I like I said, I love my Steam Deck, and I feel like I paid a lot of money for it. And even though it is portable, I like the convenience of being able to play it around the house or on the back porch or whatever, kind of device. Or if you go to bed, whatever, you can still play games or whatever. But I don't really. One time I took it to Disney when we went on our vacation there
You
this
took
summer.
the Steam Deck to Disney?
Yes, yeah, because I figured back at hotel room we'd be. Of course, never got it out of the bag, so it stayed in the bag the whole time. So yeah, but I thought
A man after my own heart. I would have done the same damn thing.
Yeah, just brought it with me
Hey,
just
Mike,
in
what's
case.
up?
So but yeah, so that's but still, my point is, I felt uncomfortable bringing it there. Where this, like I said, I know it's $300 that I spent on this, but I'd much rather this get crushed, destroyed, stolen, broken, beat up than my Steam Deck. Because if this happens, something happens to this, and if it messes up or whatever, I don't feel the loss as much. And I bought it through the Xbox, site, through Xbox.com, and you can also do a lot of like with Xbox Live and stuff, you can earn reward points. Well, you can take those reward points and you can use them for money that you can use in the store to pay for one of these, or to at least bring the price down on this to where it's affordable for you. So,
If you're invested heavily,
or like John, you can fall off a truck. Oh, sorry.
if you're invested heavily into the Xbox ecosystem to the point where you want to earn achievements on your couch, on your bed, while you're away from your console, you want to remote play, you want to sign on to Game Pass. This device is wonderful if you want to keep on playing within the Xbox sandbox, right?
Yeah.
So if you want a device that up to now is the Xbox portable, this is something good to look at. Now, again, with that said, everything that Kay Asante has said about the price, about the specs of the device, is you need to kind of take into consideration the full package of what you're getting here.
You have to want it.
You need to, yeah. I mean, you need to kind of add all the things together: the ergonomics of the device, the screen, the simplicity of of just using the device, the antennas being really, really good. All those little things start giving it pluses, pluses, pluses. And then that price brings it down halfway, right? So now you have to start looking for ways again to justify it. But with all that said, I'll say something and I'll repeat what I said earlier. I paid $199 for this device.
Mm-hmm.
If Amazon sent me a bill today for the remaining $100 that I needed to pay, I would gladly pay them the money because I have found how to best
I call
use this device.
shenanigans on that, good sir, because you know
I
that'll never happen.
What if they offered to,
I'm-
or what if
I'm-
they said you had to pay $150, which is the current price?
I would pay it. I would pay. I think that my
Okay.
breaking point would be, that 200, that close to now
that
$400.
that 400
Yeah,
that Steam
no
Deck
way.
price.
Yeah, no way. But
Okay.
one up to the price that it's $349, yes. But I do believe that I am getting the best use out of this device. For someone that is just gonna turn it on and play Game Pass on it, to pay $349. It
See,
depends.
that's the problem.
It
That's
depends.
the problem.
It depends how invested you are into, again, this Xbox ecosystem mindset.
I mean, technically, you are right. You literally sold your Steam Deck because it didn't have Xbox UI,
There
the
you go.
first one. So that's you. You are
you go.
you are who their demographic. Are you
There
not?
you go. Yes,
Yeah,
I am. So
absolutely.
that's really the crux of this.
Mhm.
Is it a good device? Absolutely. Is it worth the full price of admission? No. But again, I have also
If you're
found,
able to do a little bit of this and a little bit of that,
if you're able to kind of figure out how to really
Yeah.
squeeze every penny out of this thing, absolutely. I think that you will not regret your purchase. I think that it's well worth it. I think that after you finish paying for it and everything comes together, you're gonna have such a big smile on your face that, dude, you'll be willing. Okay, yeah, I paid $299, $349 for it, but right now I'm playing, Doom Eternal from my PC in my other room.
Okay. Let me throw one more wrench because that's what I'm here to do. Since I don't own one,
Yeah.
I'm just here to throw wrenches in the works right
I
now.
love it. I love
Right?
it.
Here you are, Mr. John Wolf, Mr. I did not find it off of a back of a truck, Mr. I paid full price $350 for this thing, Mr. I don't have a Steam Deck, but I'm still happy. I'm in the ecosystem. This is a hypothetical John Wolf because this man does have a Steam Deck, but that's neither here nor there. $350, right? What if, because your goal, like as you've stated, is Doom 2016, right?
Right.
As best as you want to. What if then somebody went and showed you this and you go, okay, not a big deal. That's a Steam Deck. Yeah, I know what it is. I can play that. But then we showed you this. Yes, it's a Steam Deck and it's running Windows.
Absolutely.
Which means you can natively, for $50 more, install Doom 2016.
I would be super excited to get the Steam Deck instead, but here's the part that's gonna throw you off.
Okay.
There's a lot of tinkering that you need to do to get there, right? So there's
yes.
there's equal tinkering on both sides, right?
Yes, absolutely.
But
Okay, I'll even do you one better and say there's a lot more tinkering on this side than on that.
I think so.
There's a lot more.
So let's say that you're gonna play Doom Eternal natively from Steam. Okay, because that's the
you
ideal.
First have to install Windows. You first have to.
Right,
Yes.
but let's say that you just install it from Steam directly, and you get it from Steam the way it's supposed to be, right? It's great for 2 hours, but you know what's even better, Kay?
Great for 8 hours when
8
it keeps
hours,
playing,
and I've been using my PC.
Sure, but
here.
that's twice the energy you're using,
brother. When it comes to,
I get it.
You get it. So there's positives and negatives. There's pros, there's cons, and I mean I can go on and on because I have found great use out of this thing, right? And
brother, I'm waiting to get a deal like you, and I will be buying one of it immediately because I want to tinker with it.
There's no doubt in my mind that you're gonna love this thing. No doubt in my mind, right?
Well, I just wanted to announce tonight that we are starting a GoFundMe for Casantes.
We don't need a GoFundMe for me. No, I buy all my frivolous purchases myself. Thank you very much.
We just want to make
I
sure
feel
that you
bad
come to
making
the
other
dark
people waste their
side.
money on my ridiculousness.
Kay, let me
playing.
ask you, brother. I started with Web Dave. I got his thoughts on cloud gaming. I think that cloud gaming is very controversial when you talk about it with certain people. There's this segment of gamers that they feel like if these companies just want to take the bucks away from them at all costs because of the R&D costs and all that good stuff, that we're eventually going to get one day to a future where there might not be a box. And I think a lot of people have fear when it comes to things like that. But you want to know something, Kay, and I'll let you chime in on this and then hear about your experience with cloud gaming. When you're playing something on the cloud and you forget that you need a local device because it feels so good and it looks so good, at that point it doesn't matter. So when we get there, I think when it's proven that the technology works and it is flawless and it is seamless, that's when I think this becomes less of a debate.
I agree with you. I absolutely do. I absolutely do. And as for my experience with cloud gaming, I think everybody that knows me knows I'm just basically a gamer. You know, if you can strap it to my face, you can play it locally, you can have it streamed, as long as it's fun and it's pause, by the way, as long as it's fun and it gets the job done, I'm there. You know, I've always, like, as I said to you in the green room, I was one of the first people to test out Stadia. They gave me a free copy of a bunch of games for it. You know, I actually checked my inbox today, and there was a game which they said, well, I didn't sign the NDA, so no. Skull and Bones, which has been known to be crap, they were offering to let me play that, and reviews and this and that. So I get to play lots of different things. But I hear you on the idea that people are quick to pick up the pitchforks and get all up in arms about something new, right? They do it in VR, as I've said, and they're doing it here, right? Because like you said, everyone seems to enjoy what they enjoy, and us gamers are not necessarily the best at change. Right, we like what we like. Look at the generations. When it looks like all of a sudden generations are going the way of the dodo bird, people are upset. Right, they want them generations back. They want to throw away their last devices and go buy new ones because that's how it's always been. Right, so people it's hard to get them to move that way. But this is basically the beginning. Imagine this is the 360 days, and Microsoft just introduced this amazing technology that brings these CDs into your living room in the form of Netflix streaming. That's where we are right now.
But Kay, I like my disc, man. I don't want to give up my disc.
Right? Bunch of people were still with the back and forth with the FedEx getting their discs, right? While Microsoft was literally pushing Netflix, going, bro, this is your next business model. They were like, nah, not really. And here we are, right? We're here on this precipice with these things. That's where we are right now, right? And these will be known as the abacuses of their day 2, 3, 4 years down the line, because for a while, mobile technology has gotten so much faster, but people just kept it in mobile. Oh, your phone, oh, you're this, you're that. So eventually they got sick and tired of giving you more speed, and they started making everything smaller. Right. You've noticed that, right? Everything just keeps getting smaller and smaller and thinner and thinner. And then someone in their infinite wisdom went, hey, let's go back to gaming and see how good we can make mobile devices. And here we are, right? So I think right now, to your point, people are going to be reticent. People are going to be upset by it and pitchforks and all of that. But as we cross that Rubicon where it just becomes even commonplace, and you could just, just like you turn on your Netflix and you're playing, you turn on your game and you're streaming, it'll just become ubiquitous, right? It'll just become one of those other options that people use. Like today, the option I do right now, I just got the Uncharted Legacy Collection, which I'm excited to play on my Xbox, on my PC, and on the Steam Deck. Obviously, I played that before, PlayStation gamer for a long time, so I played it, but I want to play it again on the Steam Deck. What I have been married to for a long time, believe it or not, is Persona 5 since it came out on Xbox. I've had that game forever on PS5 and a PS4. Didn't really bother playing it. But now that it's on on Xbox, I'm literally, whenever possible, because it's a strategy game, I'm cloud streaming it
There
at
you
all
go.
times. It's on my phone. It's over here. I have it running because I also wanted to see how good it ran. So that's why, based on your recommendation, thank you, sir. This is an SD card that's running Win 11, just like yours. Right, got the new SD, and then of course Steam today. By the way, a quick aside: if they announced you can join the beta and then get the Steam UI in Windows,
Nice.
so it's no longer just a Linux thing. On Windows, you can look like proper
Big,
Steam Deck, right?
and you're talking about for big picture mode.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is it looks exactly like you are in Steam UI, only it's in Windows,
Gotcha.
right? And they're adding more and more features to that. So pretty soon you'll be able to install Windows natively and then run everything you do on Steam Deck on Windows, right? And once they figure that out, then they'll just send you a file and then you can just decide, oh, I want to run Windows, and it'll be turnkey. So everyone can do it. Right now, only we can do it. You know, those who spend time tinkering with it can do it, right? But long and short of it, they are literally, and it's because of you and me and those of us who are into these like little techie devices, and we're tinkering and we're playing with it. We discovered that, oh, let's change the boot screens. Then the powers that be, the vendors go, well, now we'll officially allow it. Oh, let's change this. Well, now we'll officially allow it. Right.
Which, by the way, with side note, the best one that I've seen is the Pornhub one, but
it's hilarious. My
favorite, the Steam Hub. That's pretty good.
My favorite one is the Marvel beginning scroll.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
The Marvel one is a little longer than normal, so you have to literally. Yeah. And this is why I love Steam Deck so much. I'm sorry, it's always
it's cool. It's cool.
This is why I love it so much, because you can literally go there and go, yeah, the automatic boot time is like 10 seconds, but this pre-roll that looks like Marvel's pre-roll is 20 seconds. So I can go into the code and make a change to how long it takes before the boot screen starts. Like, absolutely, you could do that on this thing. So
it's literally a PC. You just have to have the skill set in order to take advantage of these things.
The willingness to poke around and play. But all of that is to say, both are necessary, right? In order for this device to become turnkey and do everything we want it to do, this device must exist, and we must tinker with it as much as possible. Because every time we discover something new or something great happens, then it permeates through the entire zeitgeist, and all the other devices somehow get similar aspects of it as well. So absolutely, you know, for those who are afraid of the cloud future, don't be. You don't have to be. You can still go. I always say this. You can still go pull out the Blu-ray and watch The Matrix as it's meant to be seen. Right? You don't have to watch it on Netflix. You could go pull out the old DVD player. You olds. You know, I used to know things that had tapes that would go if you happen to touch it with a magnet, but that's neither here nor there. You can use your DVD player and still play your game and play your movie that you love so much. Just because it exists now in the cloud and anybody else can watch it at a cheaper quality doesn't mean that your way of doing it is any less good, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to more of these devices existing, and more fighting and infighting, and more what do they call it? A race to the bottom as far as pricing is concerned. Now, so that's where I am.
Now, Web Dave, let me ask you this question. With everything you've heard us talk about, and I know that me and Kay went deep diving into the discussion with the difference between the Razer device and the Logitech, have we kind of convinced you to perhaps pre-order one of those, or you're gonna
so serious?
I think so. I think Dave gets excited when he sees a new piece of tech, kind of like candy, you know. So that's awesome.
Disposable income is what you want. The word you're looking for. So yes,
there you go.
Yes, I will. But I'm not gonna buy one until you guys have it in your hand and you guys give me one of these about it. And then if I feel like it's worth it, then I will probably get one. Yeah. And then I will pass this on to a nephew or something.
You have a Steam Deck and you have a G-Cloud. Mm-hmm. I don't think that the Razer will fulfill any niche that the G-Cloud and Steam Deck combination can't.
That's not what she said. What? I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think as a user, as a person who owns both those devices, I don't think there's much that this other thing can do that you can't already accomplish between the two devices you have. I'm not sure. I might be wrong, but we'll see. I think you might be covered already.
We'll see. Now,
probably pretty good. But I do enjoy this. This is a lot of fun. I really enjoy this device.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man, and thank you guys so much for joining us and whoever joined us and listened to this discussion. I really wanted the discussion to be centered not only around reviewing the device, but just going like understanding how this device can cater to a quote unquote hardcore gamer. It won me over. It really did. It won me over. And I was so shocked at that because I thought I was going to be looking at it like Web Dave was describing as if this thing falls, I really don't care. But no, now I'm kind of like, hey, no, I'm kind of protective of it. I'm like, no, my daughter's not using it. Let me pick it up so I can, play and do what I got to do on this thing. But honestly, it's won me over completely. Super hyped on it. Kay, I do recommend you being a tech head that when that price gets down to that 199.
Is that Oreo I see on that screen right there? Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah.
beautiful, sir. That is beautiful. I have
Oh
that as a
yeah.
wallpaper. That's amazing.
There you go. I recommend that you pick one up. I know you'll love it. For Xbox ecosystem heads like myself and in my previous life, okay, Kay, because I've kind of expanded my waters thanks to you, and I kind of finally saw the light there. This device is a portable Xbox. It really is. It's an extension of the Xbox ecosystem. If you're a diehard ride or die Xbox, it makes sense for you to get it. It really does. If you are in the market for something powerful that you want to play your Android games, your Diablo Immortal 60 frames up to 120 frames for just $50 more, I would tell you to hold on until January for that Razer device. If you're not big into mobile gaming, you don't give a shit, you just want cloud gaming, you just want to use this thing for a cloud device to play Stadia for 2 months, 2 weeks left, whatever the hell time is left on
Stop
it.
clowning Stadia, man. Stop
Hey,
clowning.
I'm clowning Google. I'm not clowning the tech. I'm a believer in the tech. I love the tech. It is hands down 20 times better than xCloud, tech wise, not
Yes.
service wise.
Yes.
So there I do give them credit, but again, guys, at the end of the day, value subjective. If you could find the value in this sucker, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Thank you all for joining us. Web Dave, where can the peeps find you? I linked your Twitter below, but
Thank you.
what's your gamer tag and all that good stuff, just in case somebody
Well,
wants to send you a friend request.
It's Web Dave.
Okay.
Just like it's spelled. Yeah, it was an Xbox Live beta tester, so I locked that sucker down way back when, 20 years ago.
Nice.
So yeah, but yeah, it's Outbreak Podcast. On if you search Google and when the new handles come out, it'll be Outbreak Gamers. So at Outbreak Gamers.
Nice.
Outbreak Gamers. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, so that'll make it easier once that's implemented in another month or so from YouTube. But yeah, man, thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And any chance I get to hang out with Kay Asante too, it's
sure.
an honor, man. You're very well informed and I'm glad to call you a friend. So
You learned so much, man, from talking to Kay.
Oh, stop it.
So Dave,
Thanks,
before for your plug, brother, thank you for your contribution to this conversation, man. It's been awesome. I know that you've interviewed Dealer Gaming, Colt Eastwood. I mean, Kay Asante, myself. You've gone through the gamut, brother. I mean, I would consider you're an all-star right now.
Oh,
Okay,
well,
you've
thanks.
had a lot of people. You've had a lot of people on your podcast, on your shows, man, and the sky's the limit, brother. I told you that since when we first met, and I really do appreciate you tonight taking the time to be on my show, man. So,
dude, it was an honor and a privilege. Can't even talk tonight, man. I need another beer. But yeah, and one last thing I'll say is that a new episode coming out on Monday will be 3-bit.
Oh, nice.
And if some of you don't know, he actually is working on Fable. And we talk about everything we can talk about within his NDA. That's all I'm saying. It's a very interesting conversation. So
Tune in, guys. So, Kay, go ahead, brother. The floor is yours. Where can people find you? I've been on your shows a couple of times myself, man. It's always been a great time. And like I said, you were my very first guest, brother. You said yes to me when I was fresh on the scene. You invited me on your show, and for that, I will be forever grateful. Go ahead, brother. Where can people find you? Gamer tag, stuff like that.
Oh, I appreciate you having me. It's always, you know me. I enjoy talking this. This to me, this is evergreen content. Anyone that happens to watch this, at the time when they happen to grab themselves a device and they go, "Hey, I wonder what others think about it." This would be a great comparison, great companion piece to you getting to know your devices and all of that. And for those who happen to catch this, Web Dave, John Wolf, they're out here. Find them on Twitter, ask them for tips. They're out there. They'll be able to give you a hand. I really appreciate doing these kind of things, right? We talk about the topics of the day, but being able to just deep dive and geek out on some cool stuff, that may be that somebody may discover 5 years from now is pretty awesome. I think that's a great thing to be able to do. So I appreciate you having me on. Co-host of the Gaming Circle podcast, as myself and Mr. Everborn Saga.
The slanderous one.
The slanderous one, yes. Every day I find new names for him. He's the Judas, he's the slanderous one, he's the conspiracy theorist. I'm just like adding more. Anyway, Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Last week we had Jez Corden on, which was like a high watermark for us. We've never had such high esteemed guests on our show. It was really cool to have somebody with a check mark next to him on the show. He was very cool and cordial with us. So, you could check that out. We had a lot of really good conversations, and Saturdays, come check us out. We always have a good time, and we'll definitely have the two of you gentlemen back. I always enjoy having great conversations like this with you guys. So thank you guys once again.
Absolutely, guys. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. This was the Logitech G-Cloud review, kind of in-depth look. Guys, like I said, it's not a bad little device. It won me over completely. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be around, guys. I'm trying to pump more content as my schedule kind of opened up here. I appreciate people like Let Mike Play Smart always hitting me up, always asking me how I'm doing, always asking me when I'm going to upload my next podcast, my next video. Thank you, buddy. I really appreciate that for you looking out for me and my channel. And for everyone else that's always been so welcoming to me, I want to say I appreciate you. I really admire all of you content creators, the way that you're able to sacrifice your Saturdays, your Mondays, your Tuesdays, whatever the case may be. It's a big dedication, and there's a lot of admiration that comes from me on that part. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.